Marketing doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, it's as simple as forming a relationship. We're going to dive deeper into this today with Mason, and he's going to take a time right now just to tell us a little bit about himself, why this marketing and relationships concept matters to him, and why it really, really should matter to you. Mason, welcome to the show.
Nice to have me. How are you doing today?
Oh, lovely, lovely. Tell us a little bit about
So,
yourself, Mason.
as you might know, I am the host of my own podcast. I found solace in podcasting through the branding of MC Anime, and we do anime, geek culture, Asian studies, and Japan topics. Kind of branched on from my approach in dealing with mediums and finding my connection. Uh, I dove right into media and TV and all that related connectedness. But also, while doing that, later in life, I really found a community to build, to network, to be a part of. So now I'm not just myself, but I'm part of a larger group, giving me so much more in establishing my connection to the transformation of media and my journey, trying to find who I am with also autism. So they kind of all meshes well together.
That's amazing. Like truthfully, and the reason this is amazing, and I want to stress this point because people often think of marketing and building communities as something that is complex and bigger than themselves. And what you just described was this ability to tap into yourself through community and then to leverage that community and the networking within which to expand your presence, which is marketing. It doesn't have to be complex. So, tell me a little bit more though about your experience with anime and how you really kind of were able to find yourself and your people in that niche, because truly that is what it is, a niche.
Well, it's all started by rewatching certain TV shows when I was younger. So like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, I dive into more of the seasons, getting caught up, and really getting into it more. Then I discovered it was anime. So yeah, that did help, but at the same time, that was the first introduction. The actual main introduction was catch up on TV shows like Static Shock, Teen Titans, uh, Batman the Brave and the Bold, get into actually DC and Marvel related animated TV shows. That's what really started my binge watching of animation as a whole.
Man, oh man, don't get me started on Marvel, honestly. Not necessarily animated Marvel, but Marvel as a whole.
Yes.
That I'm not going to get started because if I get started, you guys won't stop me.
One
So,
of my favorite is Hawk Agents of Smash.
oh
They have
my,
all the teams of Hawk working for Shield.
that would be, oh, I haven't seen that, but I can imagine
So
just
good.
based on your description how those communities within the Marvelverse uh, would engage with one another and how the stories could unfold, because that's one of my favorite things about Marvel in particular, but all of these that you've listed is the storytelling. And
Yes.
and this is key to what we're discussing here. Marketing uses storytelling to connect, and that's where it all starts. And that's
Well,
where it started.
yeah. Well, storytelling is very essential because not only it involves your brand, but not only involves who the person behind it, but the nature of what you're doing it. Those are the three things that really connect storytelling into a broader spectrum for that particular media.
I couldn't have said it myself. Honestly, but clearly I can't even say it the first time. So how could I possibly even say it better myself? Truly, you are absolutely right. And and again, I feel like we need to continue to say how it if you when you break it down, it is quite simple.
Yes.
Those those concepts within storytelling can help elevate how you're showing up, which is marketing, and how you're connecting with people, forming those relationships. Again, a part of marketing.
It's kind of the premise of any advertising campaign. You have the story that you're telling. People are going to resonate with the story. If it's a info commercial, they want to know how to better themselves. How can it solve their problems? And then how can their problems be benefited by continuing to have that product, service, that type of stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, okay, so now let's take another avenue here. We've taken storytelling and a niche, which is important, a niche being your client avatar or your community avatar. And you start to build interest or leverage interest is easier.
Yeah.
And you start to form a community, a network, connections. What does this look like for you?
Um, so my community consists of two different things. I have the podcasting community that I was able to meet featured speakers, connect with my former friends on Discord through Yu-Gi-Oh with the other media and combine it with podcasting, and also really be able to form my team that I've run the podcast with from my Yu-Gi-Oh Discord connections. So they're all combined into one kind of thing.
So you were able to, no, you know what? Let's rewind the clock for a moment. Because before this, before you were able to establish these communities, I feel like I made a leap. Can you fill in the gap here for me? You were diving into the world of anime, animation, Marvel, and DC, and an independent level. And then I feel like I just made a leap there. And now we've got a community. But there was something that happened in between. Because you don't
It's
just go from that
yeah.
space,
So
right?
I grew the community from really start tapping into anime, and on the face, I made a Facebook page. I made a blog, and I posted MC Anime blog MC Anime for 300 posts over the time that I posted about anime, cosplay, manga, Japan, all these different things. I start doing original content with reviews. Then I get to paraphrasing content from other sources. And then people say, oh, wait, you're really good at paraphrasing. So I'm forming these cross platform publishing. And then the people actually really like my paraphrasing info.
Hmm.
But they want more. It's like, you're really good at this. Why not see a side of you that's original? So I start tapping in original content, wiki content, theme holidays, convention reviews. I start doing all kinds of stuff with the blog. And then later I tap into what I did for the blog because it was too much work into the podcast. And then the bridge between that was live streaming older blogs and then make presentations on Facebook. So yeah,
This is so cool because a lot of people, when they're interested in something, good at something, kind of sort of doing it, maybe getting praised for it, they stop there. They start, it's that whole, I used to do this all the time. You hide behind the book or you hide behind whatever it is, you hide behind the screen and you just stay on the DL. But not you. You used that. You leveraged all of that and you stepped into your voice. You started making decisions that not only elevated your ability to share your expertise and connect people, but empower others to do the same thing.
yeah.
That is the step between loving something, being good at something, and then turning it into a movement, turning it into marketing it, effectively marketing it,
Mm-hmm.
and building a
Uh,
community around that
well, the
that allows
podcast now
you
is
to connect.
175 episodes, so
That's
uh,
it.
I've kind of string hold what I want to do, how I want to do it, and pretty much just keep going with it and launching another podcast. So I'm in the works of working on that and getting a page for it. But I think with me, I wouldn't have found it if I didn't found the community of talking to people, going back to the original thing I did as a child, connecting with people way older than me, and then them being so interested in my conversation. Whatever it was, if it was a story, was it a tangent, whatever I did or what I found cool, they were an audience that I was able, they listened to me but loved my company. And that was through stranger relations, actually. Meeting up someone so many times at the flea market and pretty much keep going back. School was the same thing for me.
Huh. So here's the thing. And this is, I mean, for me, this is not new. This is just a new way to tell the story.
Yes.
But I think this will be very powerful to a lot of people who have struggled to really create the visibility and momentum that they desire. And it's that, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's that relationship building. And I don't want to use that as an umbrella term anymore. I want to get into the details, the nitty gritty. What does it look like to form a relationship? Well, you just said it. Go back. Keep chatting. Share something new. Engage them with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Look at
I
it from their
mean,
perspective. You just demonstrated all of that in just that one story.
and funny enough, Discord exploded in my free time. Because at the time I didn't have much. Before I started the blog, I'll
Yeah.
be into Yu-Gi-Oh content, being volunteering in the servers, being a moderator, an owner of a server. Actually, I got
Yeah.
transferred to ownership because I basically showed activity that I was to take care of this server. It, that's kind of how I was be able to strengthen my connection. It's like I have my editor and my graphic artist from that Discord connection,
Right.
but now they work for me for the podcast. So I was able to leverage them, the skills they already had, through talking to them. And then we actually say, oh, yeah, you're doing this podcast. Maybe I should help you with graphics. And then later it's like, oh, maybe you need an editor. There you go. That's kind of how it all works.
That's the relationships. And that's an internal kind of growth that then extended externally because you've formed this relationship with the Discord server host who then learned to trust you enough to give it to you. And for anybody who doesn't know Discord, it's a community and conversation hosting platform. You've got a lot of different
Yeah,
areas within which you can connect and communicate on a variety of different topics and even just viewpoints of different topics.
yeah,
And
it's
so
great for fandom.
to be gifted, it would be akin to, let's just make this something most people would be able to hop on board with. Imagine a Facebook group host who has an engaged and relatively well attended group saying, hey, you know what? I think I need to take a step back, and I know you've got the chops to host this. Here you go. Can you imagine if somebody did that to you right now with your ideal people in that community? People who can not only help you with your podcast or whatever else you're trying to do, but also people who want to engage and be present within the content you're creating and maybe even the services that you're providing.
Yeah.
That's marketing.
Well, you also have to branch out. I mean, you don't know what typical connection can lead to a lead, and that lead leading to something else.
I feel like we need to put that up on a board right now.
Well,
Just like, if
find
you
the
didn't take
connections,
notes prior,
find the leads, and then find where the leads take you.
or just make the connections, form
Yeah,
the relationships, leverage what you can to do so, because that is marketing. That is marketing. You don't, please, for the love of all things good, don't overcomplicate it, because that's what's going to stunt your growth as a person and as a business owner. If you want to achieve success, stop overcomplicating things and just form those relationships in whatever way feels the most aligned to you. And of course, we're going to say, the way that works. Because if you don't need to, if you walk down one path and it's not opening any doors, then you're going to have to experiment and explore different ways. But clearly there's such a multitude of ways to do that you're going to find something that works for you, whether it's a Discord community, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. It doesn't matter what that podcasting. Well, here we are. How do we
Hmm.
connect? Mutual podcasters,
I
right?
eventually became a member of a podcast network, and they're like the 12% active on there right now on status. So,
And that's the thing. And then people see you, and people
yeah,
see you as an engaged and active and valuable community member. And you're able to form relationships with them, send them a DM, hey man, and they know who you are because you've been engaged and involved. It
yeah.
all makes a difference. Every single step, every single relationship makes a difference in your marketing efforts. Now, that said, we could probably talk about this topic all day. We really could. There are so many avenues, branches that this topic can go into. Unfortunately, we don't have all day. So, what I'm going to ask of you, Mason, is there something that the audience needs to hear from you that we have not covered yet that you can impart them with before we go? I'm going to let you think about that because I know it's a big question. And in the meantime, I want to remind our audience that we have conversations like this every single week. You can join in, contribute to the conversation, ask questions, give your opinion, share your 2 cents, give us a critique. Whatever feels good, hop on board and subscribe so that you can catch the next conversation. Okay, Mason, listen, it's your chance to shine. Please tell us, what do we need to hear and how can we reach out to you more?
So you can reach out to me at Blog MC Anime on Facebook, and LinkedIn would also be another opportunity for that. So, as well, there's a QR code that you can use that Shauna has given you for this opportunity to easily connect. So if you really like, put your phone out, scan the code, and then go to the website. You can see what I'm all about. And then you can also connect me on my link tree and then follow me on any platform you want to follow the podcast if you want to become a fan. With that being said, one thing about me you haven't not known yet is through my power of journey and transformation in media, I found my identity. You can find yours in a similar way. It doesn't have to be a big scale, it doesn't have to be a big community. It can just be something that's for you and with the close knit friends if you're able to do that. So that's what I would recommend.
I love that so much. That is, and this is something that cannot be, I don't feel like we could say it enough. You have the ability to step into your truest self. And sometimes it just takes a bit of a guiding hand. You can find that in these types of communities. Reach out to Mason, say hi. He's going to say hi back. He's a cool dude. Like, find out what path makes sense for you and where can you explore and experiment with your identity in a way that's safe. We create these environments. This is the point. And we want you to be the truest form of yourself so you can create, you can rally the community around yourself that will allow you to continue to thrive. Now, with that, we do not have all day. So I hope your day, the rest of the day, goes wonderfully and you try something new that taps into that kid in you. Maybe watch Pokemon. I know Detective Pikachu, I might have watched that last night. So I hope you all have a great rest of the day and we'll chat soon. See you later.